Hello everyone, hope you're all safe and healthy and doing alright. We're going to be having virtual story time today. We'll be reading Annie and the Wild Animals by Jan Brett. But to start off, let's just do the welcome song we do every week. Feel free to clap along and sing along. Welcome, welcome everyone, now you're here, let's have some fun. First we clap our hands just so, then we bend and touch our toes. Welcome, welcome everyone, now you're here, let's have some fun. Alright, let's get right into the story. While we're reading, make sure you look at the border of the pictures because Jan Brett hides a lot of things in them. Annie and the Wild Animals by Jan Brett. It had been snowing for days. Winter was lasting too long. Something was wrong with Annie's cat. Taffy had stopped playing. She ate more than usual, she slept all day long. Annie found her curled up in strange places. One morning, Annie could not find Taffy anywhere. She looked and looked, but Taffy was gone. Annie was very lonely. I need a new friend, thought Annie. She placed a corn cake at the edge of the wood. She imagined that a small, furry animal would come and she would tame him for a pet. The next morning, the corn cake was gone. In its place stood a giant moose. He's too big to tame, thought Annie. I'll have to try again. That night, Annie left another corn cake at the edge of the wood. The next morning, the moose was back, and a snarling wildcat was there too. He's too mean to tame, thought Annie. Annie placed more corn cakes at the edge of the wood. The next morning, a big growling bear was there with the moose and the wildcat. He's too grumpy for a pet, thought Annie. Annie made as many corn cakes as she could and left them at the edge of the wood. At dawn, Annie heard the snarls and growls of the wild animals. There was the moose, and the wildcat, and the bear. They had been joined by a stag, his family, and a large gray wolf. Not one of them is soft and friendly like Taffy, thought Annie. All the next day, Annie made corn cakes and left them at the edge of the wood. All night long she heard the sounds of the wild animals eating the corn cakes. Annie awoke to find a great nose stuck through her window. It belonged to the moose, who was still hungry. There were wild animals everywhere. They roared for their next meal. The little house shook. The animals wanted more corn cakes, but when Annie looked in the barrel of cornmeal, it was empty. She couldn't make any more corn cakes. Annie was very sad. She would never find a pet now. She missed Taffy so much. All that night, a warm breeze blew from the south. The snow melted and new buds could be seen on the plants and trees. The wood was coming alive again. By the next morning, the wild animals had gone back to the wood. They would find food there now that spring had finally come. Then, as unexpected as the warm spring breeze, Taffy walked proudly into the yard. "Taffy!" Annie exclaimed. "You have come home! Where have you been?" Taffy turned and looked back the way she had come. Out of the woods came 3 soft and friendly kittens. Annie would not be lonely anymore. The end. All right, thank you for reading with me. We have a finger play song and a craft next. Yellow cat, where are you? I'm right here. How do you do? Orange cat, where are you? I'm right here. How do you do? Purple cat, where are you? I'm right here. How do you do? Blue cat, where are you? I'm right here. How do you do? Gray cat, where are you? I'm right here. How do you do? Kitty cats, where are you? We're right here. How do you do? Okay, so what we're going to be doing next is making a little origami cat. All you need for that is a square piece of paper. I used printer paper. I just drew a pattern on this so you can tell what I was doing a little bit easier, but you don't have to. To start off, all you're going to do is fold it in a triangle. Then you're going to fold it again. You can unfold that last fold because this is just so we have a little line. I drew it so you can see it a little bit easier. Next, you're going to take one of the little corners and fold it up like this. And do the same on the other side. It'll look like this. I'll do that again. Okay. Then you're going to make the cat's forehead. So you're going to take this and fold it down. Okay? So you can leave it like this, but I chose to fold down the cheeks and the chin too. So you're just gonna flip it over. This is what we were working on before. You're gonna flip it over, fold over this side, this cheek, and the chin. And you have a little cat. You can draw on a face if you want or color it, whatever you want. And that's it. Thank you for coming to virtual story time. I hope you all had fun. Have a good night.